Hey everyone, welcome to Mountain Beast Mysteries. I wanted to jump on real quick and make a video, a top 10 video of what I think are the strangest examples of UFO footage coming out of New Jersey. Now these things aren't just being seen in New Jersey, they're being seen all over the world now. But a lot of the weirdest footage is coming out of New Jersey for some reason, and there's a lot of weird things going on. There's a vast array of UFOs that are being seen. Some of them I think are legit, like interdimensional or extraterrestrial UFOs and UAPs. But then there's these weird drone objects and things in between. Like we just don't know. There's a lot of different things going on, but I think a lot of it is legitimately real. Now we probably won't have any answers to what is going on for a long time, and if we do get answers, how do we know we're getting the truth? We just don't know. A lot of the craft that are being seen are so different. They're very unique. You'd think if a fleet of UFOs showed up to like invade Earth or to show themselves, they would resemble each other. But a lot of them are just very strange looking, and they're like one-offs. And why is that? I don't know, but I made my list and I'm going to share it with you guys. Let's get into my top 10, starting with number 10. So my number 10 is this weird winged aircraft that's flying circles around the sky. I don't know what this thing is. What it reminds me of, though, it looks like kind of like a droid fighter on Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, like a droid starfighter. It kind of has the same shape. That's the first thing that came to mind when I saw it, but it's flying circles around the sky and it's rather large and it has no lights on it. That's the weirdest thing. A lot of these man-made craft and drones have lights, but this thing, you just see the silhouette of it. Is this a piloted aircraft? Is it a remote controlled aircraft? I don't know, but I've never seen anything like it, man-made or alien. It just looks really weird, kind of creepy. Like, where did this thing take off from, and where did it land? And did it take off from somewhere or land? We don't know. It probably just manifested out of thin air. This one, I'm really not sure what to make of it, but it is strange. Let's have a look at number 9. Okay, so my number 9 is very, very strange. You can see what appears to be an airplane in the bottom right corner of the frame. But up on the top left, there's two lights, two objects interacting with each other, these strange bright orbs. And at times it almost looks like they come together as one, they fuse together, but then they separate and they're like dancing around each other. And then the one separates and it takes off again. But then later on the clip cuts, you can see another object interacting with one of those orbs that looks like a few red lights, and some of the red lights are blinking. And it's like, what is going on? There's so many different things being seen and interacting with each other. There's these lights that look like orbs, and then there's an object, the red object with the blinking light, that looks like it could be a drone maybe of some kind. But they're like coming together and interacting with each other. Why is there such a wide array of things being seen? There's no consistency, right? You'd think if an alien race was invading, they'd have craft that all look similar. Now, I should also say, I think there's a lot of different things going on with all these sightings. I think there's definitely man-made drones being witnessed and filmed from who knows where, the government, but what part of the government, we don't know. And then I think they have probably some high technology that we don't know anything about that they're utilizing as well for whatever nefarious reason. But then I also think there's genuine UAP activity, UFO activity of some kind. Some of these orbs and stuff look otherworldly for sure. Whether they're from another world or interdimensional, I don't know. There's a wide array of things going on and a wide array of craft being seen. Very interesting clip. Let's look at number 8. This one's really weird. I don't really know what to make of it, but it just looks very fascinating. You see this giant red object with glowing, like 3 red lights on it. The whole thing has this weird red aura to it. And it's hard to tell in the video how far away it is, but it looks really big, and above it there's another orb of some kind, and they're interacting with each other in some way. But again, these things look different than all the other ones. And the person who's in the film, like, talking, narrating, they think it's a drone maybe, but you can't hear the drone. Like, you can't hear the propellers or anything like that. That's the interesting thing. A lot of times you can't hear the propellers of these drones. Drones are relatively loud, so if they're close, you would be able to hear them. But in this case, you can't hear it. but it looks almost like a classic UFO. The way it's shaped with this red aura around it, it looks, I don't know, I think this is a UAP. I don't think this is a drone. That's just my opinion. I don't know, obviously we can't know for sure, but it's just a very, very strange clip. Let's have a look at number 7. Okay, number 7's interesting because it depicts some sort of military aircraft, or like man-made aircraft, chasing 2 of these bright white orbs. Now we've seen these orbs in other clips, or orbs that are very similar, but these things are being pursued by an aircraft. And it's a very quick clip, but I think it's fascinating because these things are being chased. And, you know, if they were caught and it was determined what they are, we never heard of it. We just have this video clip. But what kind of weird stuff is going on? They must know what these things are. They must know. It makes you wonder though, like what kind of technology is being used? These things that I think are genuine UAPs and UFOs, are they just like hologram technology? Are we being fooled? Is it Project Bluebeam? We don't have enough information yet, so it's hard to say. But another great piece of footage, a really good catch. Very interesting to see a man-made aircraft pursuing these things. It's of my belief though that our technology cannot keep up with genuine UFO technology. We're just nowhere near the level of those things, and we never will be. Let's have a look at number 6. Number 6 I find truly fascinating because it closely represents a historical painting that depicts what look like what is in this video very strangely. Like, it's very similar. It looks like there's some sort of propulsion on this thing. It's going back and forth. You see this bright orange object, but there's these light streaks behind it, and you can see they change direction as it turns. But look at these pictures of this painting and these supposed UFO craft that were depicted all those years back. I don't know the history of this painting. I don't know how old it is, you know, but it's old. It's hundreds of years old. And just look at these craft that are depicted in it, in this religious painting. Kind of oddly similar. Is it the same thing? Is it a coincidence? Probably, but interesting nonetheless. Let's have a look at number 5. So number 5 depicts these blue light orbs over the ocean, slowly descending in a very specific pattern down into the water, into the ocean. There's a whole bunch of them, and you can see there's like police cars and fire trucks driving by in the foreground. And the people who are witnessing this thing, filming it, they think something really strange is going on. And if I saw that with my own eyes, I'd also be thinking the same thing. Like, what the heck are these things? They have the ability to be up in the sky and to travel down into the water. That's the weird thing about these UAPs that can be in the air and also in the ocean. Like, those are 2 very different environments. So to have a vehicle that can navigate both environments, like the physics underwater and in the air, are totally different. What is going on? What kind of technology is that? It's very fascinating to think about. But yeah, you can see them slowly descending down in a very specific pattern and just disappearing as they go into the ocean. These, I think, are genuine UAPs. And this is one of the earlier clips that came out. It's been out for a while. It's made its rounds. It's one of the more popular clips out of New Jersey. But I think it's interesting, but it's still my number 5. Let's look at number 4. All right, number 4 I find very interesting. You have this very, very, very bright white bluish orb. It's very bright. It's the brightest one I've seen in any of the footage. And it's doing circles in the sky. It's kind of obscured by trees at certain points in the video, but you can see how bright it is and how fast it's moving, and it's just zipping around. In the video, it makes no noise. It makes no noise, so it's very, very strange. I've seen weird stuff like this in the sky myself, weird blue orbs that fly around, dead quiet. I have my own footage of weird blue orbs that I've seen doing crazy stuff. I think this is a UAP. I don't think this is a drone of any kind. I think it's a genuine interdimensional craft of some kind. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, this is my number 4. Number 3 is also very, very interesting. Number 3 is a really fascinating clip because it depicts this blob of energy of some kind. It's an orb of some kind, and you can see like the electricity of some kind inside of it, and it's moving around in a really, really weird way. But the very interesting thing about it is that the woman who's filming it she's talking and she's trying to communicate with it, and whenever she mentions like the name Jesus or God, the electricity in it really like picks up, almost as if it's like answering to her or acknowledging what she's saying. Don't know if it's a coincidence. I don't know. But it's truly strange that when she's saying those words specifically, it starts being active in that way. You can see the electricity pick up. It's very, very odd, and that puts it at number 3 in my opinion. But let's have a look at number 2. Okay, this is where things get really, really weird. I don't know what this thing is, but like I said, there's a very wide array of things being seen, and a lot of them are so different than all the other ones. Like, a lot of them are very unique, and I don't even know what we're looking at. We're looking at this weird mass of something slowly moving around in the sky, rotating, but there's like a weird structure to it, but it's glowing and it's kind of transparent, silent. The guy in the video filming it doesn't know what it is. He has no idea, and you can tell with what he says, like through his narration of the event. And just look at, like, what is that? What is the reason for an object like this to exist? What is its purpose? And I'm asking myself that with a lot of these things that I think are genuine UAPs. What is the purpose? Why are some of them so weird looking and don't have like a logical structure to it? There's gotta be a reason. There's gotta be a reason. It's just, what is it? I feel like sometime soon we'll find out, but let's look at number 1. Number 1 is really, really weird. Similar to number 2, but more structured. Let's have a look. Okay, I think this is the weirdest. This is my number 1. I think it's the weirdest because it actually has a structure to it, but it's very much like number 2, except it has, like, it almost looks like a symbol of some kind, doesn't it? It almost looks like a symbol. You have these like 2, maybe 3 rings, maybe a little one on the bottom, but 2 big rings, 1 big one on the top, and then a smaller one, and maybe one on the bottom with like a line through them. It almost looks like a symbol. And it's glowing, and it's just there. And it actually changes color as the clip goes on to like a more bluish, kind of purplish color, which is really weird. And I've seen UFOs myself, UAPs, changing color. You can see here in this footage I shot, this orb would change colors constantly. It would do it in a slow way, and then it would do it really, really fast, and it would zip all around the sky. These things have the ability to do things like that. They can change their color, they can change their shape. It's like they don't obey the laws of this physical reality. They can do things that we can't comprehend. And I think this one's just weird because it looks like maybe a symbol of some kind. It's weird, and they're getting weirder. So what are we going to see a week from now, 2 weeks from now? I don't know. But I think this one's the weirdest so far that I've seen. Obviously more footage is going to come out every single day, and I'll try and keep up sharing my thoughts on these strange UAPs. But a lot of the stuff I'm going to share ones that I think are genuine UAPs and UFOs. Things not of this world. I don't really care about the drone stuff unless, you know, there's some really shady stuff going on, unless there's some Project Bluebeam stuff going on that we have to worry about, but it's too early to tell what is actually going on. We have no idea. But I want to know what you guys think about this footage down below in the comments. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Mountain Beast Mysteries.